Welcome back. We're going deep into the Grammys today.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, we're looking at 2 years specifically.
Okay.
2006 and 2016.
Okay.
A decade apart. So,
Wow.
yeah, a lot can change in the music scene in a decade, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's like two totally different worlds, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's
Yeah.
start with 2016.
Okay.
The year Kendrick Lamar got 11 nominations.
11. Whoa. That's crazy.
It's a record.
Yeah.
You have to go back to Michael Jackson to see something like that.
Wow. That really shows how big of an impact he was having.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
And speaking of impact, the Album of the Year category was pretty packed that year.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
We had Adele's 25,
Oh, classic.
Justin Bieber's Purpose,
Hmm.
Beyonce's Lemonade,
Wow.
Drake's Views,
Okay.
and, of course, Kendrick's To Pimp a Butterfly.
Each of those albums, like, they were huge on their own, weren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Adele with, you know, that heartbreak, the nostalgia.
Yeah.
Bieber going from, like, teen pop star to a more mature kind of artist. And
Yeah.
then Beyonce,
Yeah.
just so experimental and, you know, the political stuff, too.
And then there's Drake,
Uh-huh.
already huge on streaming.
Right.
And Kendrick pushing hip-hop, you know, lyrically, musically.
It's just amazing to see all these different artists all going for that same award.
Yeah.
Like Clash of the Titans or something.
And the winner was Adele
Adele.
with 25.
Oh, wow.
And this was her second win in this category.
Mm.
So she's the first artist to win it with 2 different albums.
Talk about making history.
Yeah.
Her first one was back in 2012 for 21.
Right.
I guess her music really connects with the voters, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go on to Record of the Year,
Okay.
which awards the performance and production of a single song.
Right.
The nominees were Hello by Adele,
Of course.
Formation by Beyonce,
Oh, yeah.
7 Years by Lucas Graham,
Lucas Graham. Okay.
Work by Rihanna featuring Drake, and Stressed Out by 21 Pilots.
Ah, I remember that one.
Yeah, again, a real mix of styles.
Yeah.
We've got Hello, a classic Adele ballad.
Yeah.
Formation
Yeah.
was a big anthem for Black empowerment. 70 Years was like a sentimental kind of folk pop song.
I see.
Work was
Yeah.
Rihanna and Drake at their best.
Yeah.
They made this like dance hall track
Cool.
that was everywhere.
Yeah.
And then 21 Pilots,
Right.
they were bringing that alternative rock sound to the mainstream.
Yeah. Each of these songs really felt like 2016.
Yeah.
A real, like, snapshot of the music.
Yeah, and the winner was Adele again.
Oh, wow.
Hello. Got the Grammy.
Really swept it, huh?
She swept the awards that year.
Yeah.
Album, record, and song of the year.
The big 3?
Yeah.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
Especially in the industry.
Yeah, Adele might have dominated, but
Right.
Best New Artist always has something new to offer.
It does.
Yeah, in 2016, the nominees were Kelsey Ballerini,
Mm.
The Chainsmokers, Chance the Rapper,
Chance the
Maren
Carries.
Morris,
Maren Morris.
and Anderson .Paak.
Interesting mixed country,
Yeah.
EDM, and then Chance and Anderson .Paak.
Yeah, it shows how the Grammys were trying to recognize more genres.
I see.
And the winner was
Who was it?
Chance the Rapper,
Oh, wow.
which was a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, his music wasn't typical pop,
Right.
and his mixtape wasn't even released commercially.
Hmm.
Coloring Book was just on streaming.
Really changed how we think about music.
Yeah, streaming was becoming
It was
huge.
huge, yeah.
A real turning point.
Yeah.
It's cool how Chance's win reflected that.
Shows how the Grammys can really capture change, right?
Yeah.
When they're at their best, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's move on to some genre categories.
Okay.
Starting with pop.
Okay.
Mark Ronson, featuring Bruno Mars, took home the award for Best Pop Duo Group Performance. Uptown Funk.
Oh, Uptown Funk. How could I forget that one?
Yeah.
Practically impossible to avoid it that year. Such a catchy blend of funk, soul, pop.
Yeah.
Just got everyone moving.
Yeah, it was a great example of a song bridging the gap between generations.
Right, appealing to, like, the classic funk fans and the new ones.
Yeah, exactly.
And this was huge for Ronson and Mars.
Yeah.
Ronson's first Grammy win.
Mm.
And it added to Mars's collection.
Right.
Which already included Best New Artist from 2011.
Right.
So,
Yeah, so Uptown Funk was a big deal in pop.
definitely.
And in the rock world,
Yeah.
we had Alabama Shakes winning 2 awards.
2 awards.
Yeah.
Okay.
They won Best Rock Performance for Don't Want to Fight and Best Alternative Music Album for Sound and Color.
Ah, I see.
Their sound was so raw. Brittany Howard's vocals
Yeah.
just blew everyone away.
They'd been nominated before, hadn't they?
Yeah, actually, they were
Wow.
up for Best New Artist in 2013.
So already making waves then.
Yeah.
Cool.
And speaking of making waves,
Yeah,
The Weeknd was doing well in the R&B categories.
he was.
Yeah. He won Best R&B Performance for Earned It
Okay.
and Best Urban Contemporary Album for Beauty Behind the Madness.
Wow, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
Especially considering, like, his criticism of the Grammys later.
Yeah, and his boycott.
Right, but that's a whole other conversation.
Another deep dive, maybe.
Maybe, yeah, lots to unpack there.
Yeah, so that's 2016,
Right.
Adele dominating
All right.
wins for Chance the Rapper, Mark Ronson, Bruno Mars,
Yeah.
Alabama Shakes.
For Weekend.
Quite a year. But now, let's rewind
Okay.
back to 2006
Right.
and see what the music scene looked like then.
2006.
Yeah,
A time before streaming took over, social media was just starting.
yeah.
It was a different world, musically.
So how did the Grammys that year, the 49th ceremony, reflect that?
Good question.
Let's start with Album of the Year.
All right.
So the nominees that year were
Yeah.
Taking the Long Way by the Dixie Chicks, Saint Elsewhere by Gnarls Barkley,
Charles Barkley. Okay.
Continuum by John Mayer,
Okay.
Stadium Arcadium by the Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Oh.
and Future Sex Love Sounds by Justin Timberlake.
Interesting mix.
Yeah, diverse group.
Country, alternative rock, pop,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and then like genre-bending Gnarls Barkley and John Mayer.
Yeah, it was a really interesting time.
Yeah.
Genres were blurring,
Yeah.
artists were experimenting, and the winner was
Who was it?
the Dixie Chicks
Oh, wow.
with Taking the Long Way.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember them.
Yeah, and this was more than just a win for their music.
It was.
Yeah.
Why?
Because in 2003, they had this huge backlash for criticizing President Bush.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
During that concert in London.
Yeah, it was a few weeks before the invasion of Iraq.
Right, when things were tense.
Yeah, and that sparked a big debate.
I bet.
A lot of country fans turned against them.
It was a big moment for them, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a huge turning point in their career.
Yeah.
They were boycotted. Radio stations wouldn't play their music.
Oh, wow.
They even got death threats.
It must have been intense.
Yeah, so their win felt like vindication,
I see.
for speaking their minds.
Yeah.
The album actually addressed the controversy.
It did.
Yeah.
Wow.
Talking about resilience, standing up for your beliefs, finding your voice.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah, it was a really personal album.
Yeah.
And it connected with people who felt silenced.
Makes sense.
So by awarding them Album of the Year,
Yeah.
the Grammys seem to be making a statement too.
Absolutely. Recognizing not just their music,
Right.
but their courage, too.
Yeah, their refusal to back down.
Powerful moment in Grammy history.
Yeah, they also won Record of the Year and Song of the Year for Not Ready to Make Nice.
Oh, wow. Clean sweep.
Yeah, had they been nominated before that night.
They had actually won a Grammy back in 1999 for Wide Open Spaces. But those 2007 wins felt different,
Yeah.
Coming back from all that, their music changing,
Right.
their message was even stronger.
Okay, so let's move on to Best New Artist in 2006. That year, the award went to Carrie Underwood.
Oh, Carrie Underwood.
Yeah.
Fresh off of American Idol, right?
Yeah.
Big voice, relatable lyrics.
Yeah, it was a big year for country music.
It was.
It's amazing how American Idol can launch someone's career.
And then the Grammys kind of solidify their place.
Yeah.
It's an interesting way for artists to be discovered these days.
Yeah, so we've got the Dixie Chicks making a statement.
Right.
Carrie Underwood showing the rise of country.
Yeah.
But what's happening in the other categories?
Well, in Best Pop Vocal Album, John Mayer won.
Oh, for
Rougher.
Continuum.
Yeah.
It was so smooth and soulful.
Yeah, and Mayer had won before too, hadn't he?
Yeah, back in 2003.
Right.
Best male pop vocal performance for Your Body is a Wonderland.
So Continuum was like a confirmation of his talent.
Yeah.
Really solidified him as a singer-songwriter.
It did. What about rock that year?
The Red Hot Chili Peppers won Best Rock Album for Stadium Arcadium.
Stadium Arcadium. Wow.
Yeah.
It was a massive album.
Double album.
Yeah.
Even showcasing their, like, funk rock sound.
Yeah, and it was huge commercially.
They weren't new to the Grammys either, were they?
Nope. They had won in 2000
Yep.
for Best Rock Performance by a duo or group with vocal scar tissue.
Scar tissue, right?
Yeah, so by 2006, they were veterans.
Legends, really.
Yeah.
Amazing how they've stayed relevant all these years.
And lastly, R&B.
Okay.
Mary J. Blige took home the Grammys for The Breakthrough.
for Best R&B Album.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, a true icon.
Yeah, she was also nominated for Record of the Year and Song of the Year
Oh, wow.
for her ballad, Be Without You.
That one's powerful, yeah.
Yeah, The Breakthrough was a big comeback for her.
It was.
Yeah, it reminded everyone of her voice, her ability to connect.
She was no stranger to the Grammys, though, was she?
No, she'd won 2 back in 1995
Okay.
for her album, My Life.
So A Night of Familiar Faces making big statements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is comparing these 2 years,
Yeah.
2006 and 2016,
A whole decade.
and seeing how the music changed.
It really is like watching music evolve, isn't it?
Yeah. So where should we start?
What stands out to you the most?
Well, one big change is like hip-hop and R&B becoming really big.
Yeah.
Like they were there in 2006, but not as dominant as in 2016.
Yeah.
Think about Kendrick's 11 nominations.
Right.
Or the impact of Drake and The Weeknd.
Right.
It's totally different.
And it's not just them in the R&B categories. They're
Okay.
breaking into Album of the Year, Record of the Year.
Exactly.
Shows how they're influencing the mainstream.
Yeah, and I think it's like a bigger cultural shift too.
Mm-hmm.
In the early 2000s, rock was still like the main thing.
Right.
But by 2016,
Yeah.
hip hop and R&B were driving the conversation, pushing boundaries with, sounds and lyrics.
It's interesting how those genres went from like niche or underground
Right.
to the center of pop music.
It shows how much they've evolved,
Yeah.
how innovative they are.
Connecting with a bigger audience.
And it's not just the music itself.
Right.
It's the culture around it.
Exactly.
The fashion, the language, the visuals.
That's all so influential.
So we've got the rise of hip-hop and R&B.
Yeah.
What else stands out when you compare the years?
Well, there's also like a decline in rock.
Yeah.
In 2006, you had Red Hot Chili Peppers winning Best Rock Album and John Mayer winning Best Pop Vocal Album.
Right.
But in 2016,
Yeah.
rock seemed to take a back seat.
The pop, hip-hop,
Yeah.
electronic music.
It's weird because rock's always been a big part of the Grammys.
Right.
So maybe it's changing tastes or like a changing of the guard, you know?
Yeah, new genres getting the spotlight.
It's probably a bit of both. Musical tastes change all the time.
Really?
What's popular is always in flux.
Yeah.
But also, music cyclical
Huh.
genres come and go, reinvent themselves, borrow from each other.
Yeah, maybe rock's just waiting for its comeback. But even with all that change,
Yeah.
pop music stays strong.
Oh, pop music, always adapting, changing, finding new ways to connect.
And we see that in both years, right?
Totally. In 2006, you had Justin Timberlake winning Best Pop Vocal Album with Future Sex Love Sounds.
Right.
And in 2016, it's Adele dominating with 25. Two very different styles.
Yeah.
But they both capture what pop music is.
Catchy melodies, relatable lyrics.
Yeah.
The kind of sound that gets stuck in your head.
It's amazing how versatile pop music is.
Yeah.
From ballads to dance tracks.
Yeah.
It's like a universal language.
It is, and I think that's why it's always done well at the Grammys.
Right. It appeals to so many people, crosses cultures,
Yeah.
and it changes with the times.
And speaking of changing with the times,
Yeah.
it's cool how some artists were nominated in both years.
Bridging the gap.
Yeah, keeping their relevance.
Like Justin Timberlake,
Yeah.
Album of the Year in both 2006 and 2016.
Right. Shows his staying power.
And he wasn't the only one.
Oh. Who else?
Mary J. Blige.
Oh, okay.
In 2006, she won Best R&B Album for The Breakthrough. And in 2016, she was nominated in the same category for Real Love.
Shows how long her career has been.
Yeah, her talent. Staying true to her sound, but still evolving.
And she wasn't just nominated.
Yeah.
She won
Exactly. Shows her music still connects.
with people and the voters.
It's inspiring to see artists like that, keeping that success and influence over so long.
Not easy in an industry that's always changing.
Definitely not.
So we've talked about the big shifts,
Right.
the power of pop,
Yeah.
and the artists who bridge the gap. I'm curious to learn more about some of these nominees,
Okay.
starting with the Dixie Chicks.
The Dixie Chicks.
Their 2006 win was such a big moment
Yeah.
musically and culturally.
It was.
Tell us more about their journey.
Well, they started in the mid-90s, mixing country with pop and bluegrass.
Okay.
Strong vocals, catchy songs, and their personalities made them stars. Their first Grammy was in 1999 for Wide Open Spaces,
Right.
which sold over 12 million copies.
Wow, they were unstoppable.
Yeah, but then in 2003,
Right.
everything changed.
With a comment about President Bush.
Exactly. At that concert in London, just weeks before the Iraq invasion.
Right.
Tensions were so high.
It caused a huge uproar.
It did.
Especially in country music.
Which was seen as, like, conservative.
Right.
It was a big controversy.
Yeah, boycotts.
Right.
Radio stations stopped playing them.
Death threats, even.
It must have been a dark time.
Yeah, but they didn't back down. They stood their ground, defended free speech, and they put all that into their music.
Which led to Taking the Long Way.
Exactly. It was their response to the backlash, processing everything.
Yeah.
Raw, emotional, defiant.
And it connected with a lot of people.
It did.
Not just those who agreed with their politics.
Right.
But those who admired their courage.
Absolutely.
Not being silenced.
It went beyond politics.
Yeah.
It became something bigger.
Right.
The right to speak your mind, music healing and uniting, the human spirit being resilient.
Their win was a testament to that.
It really was.
It's incredible how they turned that negativity into something positive.
Yeah.
Okay, let's switch gears.
Okay.
Talk about Justin Timberlake. Nominated for Album of the Year in both 2006 and 2016.
Right.
Shows how long he's been around.
Yeah.
How he's evolved. Can you give us a rundown of his career?
Well, he started in NSYNC.
Right, the boy band.
Huge in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
But Timberlake wanted to do more. So in 2002, he went solo with the album Justified.
And that changed everything.
It did.
So different from everything else at the time.
Yeah, blended pop, R&B, hip-hop. Showed off his vocals, his dancing, his songwriting. It was massive.
Yeah.
Sold over 7 million copies. Wow. Really made him a solo artist.
And he kept pushing boundaries.
He did.
With his other albums.
Yeah.
Trying different sounds, collaborating, changing his image, his sound.
From Future Sex Love Sounds to the 2020 Experience, he stayed relevant for over 20 years.
Wow. Not easy in pop music.
Definitely not.
He's like a musical chameleon.
Right.
Adapting, but keeping his own style.
Exactly. And I think that's why he's connected with so many people. He's not afraid to experiment, take risks, push himself creatively.
Okay. And for our last artist deep dive,
Yeah.
let's talk about Mary J. Blige.
Okay.
A true R&B icon.
The queen of hip-hop soul.
Right.
Yeah.
Her nominations in both years
Right.
really show her influence.
They do.
What are some key moments in her career?
Well, she came up in the early 90s,
Okay.
blending soul vocals with hip-hop beats and raw emotional lyrics.
Yeah, her music's always been so honest.
It is.
You can feel the emotion.
She paved the way for a new generation of singers, showing it was okay to be vulnerable, sing about real life.
Right.
She wasn't afraid to express her pain, her anger, her struggles.
Right.
That vulnerability made her music so powerful.
Yeah, she broke down barriers.
She did.
Made a space for artists to be authentic.
Exactly.
Her influence goes beyond music.
Right.
She's a cultural icon.
Fashion
A
icon.
role model.
Absolutely, she's a legend. And her success shows her talent, her hard work, her commitment to her art, her message.
Okay, so we've gone through these 2 years,
Yeah.
2006 and 2016.
10 years apart.
It's amazing how much changed in a decade.
It is.
The rise of hip-hop
Right.
and R&B,
Right.
rock's decline,
Yeah.
pop staying strong, and the artists who bridged the gap.
It's a snapshot of how music changes, reflects our culture, and how it connects with us.
It's like looking at two chapters in the same book,
It is.
each with its own story.
Yeah. But connected by music.
Innovation, expression,
Yeah.
searching for connection.
Beautifully put.
But before we finish,
Yeah.
we need to give our listeners some homework.
Oh, homework.
Yeah.
What should we assign?
Based on today,
Mm-hmm.
what album from each year should they listen to?
That capture those years and the artists.
Yeah.
Okay, for 2006, I'd say Taking the Long Way by the Dixie Chicks.
Okay.
It's about resilience.
Right.
Standing up for what you believe in. Finding your voice.
Yeah.
Musically brilliant, emotionally powerful. It's aged really well, shows their artistry and spirit.
It's an album that goes beyond genre.
It does.
Speaks to the human experience.
Yeah.
Okay, and from 2016.
For 2016, I'd recommend Lemonade by Beyonce.
Okay.
It's a visual album.
Yeah.
It's like stunning to watch and listen to. Explores love, betrayal, Black womanhood. Empowerment, it really pushed boundaries.
It sparked a lot of conversation
It did.
about music and visual art.
Yeah, it's like an experience, not just listening. You watch it, feel it, think about it.
Right.
It's Beyoncé at her most creative, her most personal.
Yeah, amazing choices.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be checking those out.
Cool.
This has been a great deep dive into the Grammys.
It has.
It's fascinating to see how music evolves, how trends come and go.
And how certain artists really make their mark.
We went back to 2006.
Right.
The Dixie Chicks comeback, Carrie Underwood's arrival.
Right.
Then to 2016.
Yeah.
Kendrick's nominations, Adele's dominance.
Chance the Rapper's win.
Yeah. And we looked at the stories behind these artists.
The controversies, the boundaries they pushed.
Their legacies.
It reminds us that music is more than just entertainment.
Right.
It reflects our culture, our values, our shared experiences.
It's powerful. It can unite us, inspire us, challenge us. And the Grammys capture those moments.
The artists, the songs that define generations.
They give us a look into the past.
Yeah.
And make us think about the future.
What music will be shaping the world 10, 20 years from now?
What artists will be pushing boundaries?
Breaking records.
What stories will be told?
Exciting to think about.
Yeah. And for all our listeners out there, keep exploring, keep listening.
Keep discovering.
Find the music that moves you.
Challenges you.
Makes you feel alive.
And if you're looking for a place to start,
right,
we recommend Taking the Long Way by the Dixie Chicks.
Okay.
And Lemonade by Beyoncé.
Great choices.
2 incredible albums.
From 2 very different years in music history.
Exactly.
Happy listening, everyone.
Yeah, happy listening.
And until next time, keep those playlists rocking.
Keep those discoveries coming.
Oh.